Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 25th episode of Concerned Dabs podcast. I am your host, KDM Kane. With me is my co host, Will Terps.
Yo, yo.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's guest, we have Elaine Miles in the building. She is a Native American actress and icon, also cannabis advocate. So we are really excited to have her on the show tonight. Elaine Miles, are you there right now? Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you. And hey, how's everybody doing tonight?
All right. Man, we're super amped, Elaine. Like the practice call on Wednesday was dope. I wish we were recording then, but we got Will in the building with us tonight too, so it
Okay,
should be a
cool,
good
cool.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess do you want us to start with some of the cannabis questions?
You want to do that, or you want me to talk about myself for a little bit?
Yeah, whatever you want to talk about, girl. Let's go. Like, what do you want to talk
You
about
know,
first?
'cause some people don't know who I am. It's like, yeah, really.
Yeah,
No.
man. Yeah, introduce yourself. Let them know. Let them know. Anybody who don't know, let them know, Elaine.
Yeah, it's me, Elaine Miles. Most like the older people will know me from Northern Exposure. I was a cast regular for all 6 seasons, 6 years of working on a national or international television show. That was kind of cool. That was my first break. And then I did, a lot of other people will know me from Smoke Signals. I drove the car
Yes.
backwards. Yeah, Loosey Goosey.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the first written, directed, produced Native film with the main characters Native, and that was like that made history. That movie made history because it actually made it in
Yeah, that was
mainstream
classic.
theaters. Everything. So, and it's still being rerun, on Netflix. You can watch it on Netflix, Hulu, you know.
Y-
So
yep.
yeah, and then I used to work up in Canada. If we have any Canadian people watching, I was on the half-hour TV show up there the last 2 seasons. The Res, which was a spin-off from Dance Me Outside. I played Etta, the medicine woman. So that was my other, when I was a big name actress. I was a hot commode back then. So yeah,
You're still
but
big name actress to me, Elaine Miles. You're still hot commode to me, yo. Still, girl,
thank you,
still.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Catch meow meow.
Yeah. Yeah. No
Yeah,
doubt.
but
No doubt.
that's what I do. My acting. I've done like 16 movies. I've been working on as an actress since 1990. So I put 19 years here. It's 29 years. I was like, holy shit, I feel old. You
Dang.
know?
Way to go. You don't
Yeah.
look old. You
So
don't look old.
thank you, thank you. I
Yeah,
gotta
it
remember
must
that you did that. No.
it must be the weed or something.
No, it's like I lived a good life. I lived a good life.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
good
I
vibe.
get wild now and then. Nobody's perfect. I'm human, but,
Yep.
that's how I am. But, yeah, it's like being an actress was fun. I modeled, too. I modeled at the height of my career for Macy's department store. And they had a line of clothing for Northern Exposure. So that was
That's dope,
fun.
man.
That was big money. No,
Did they
that
give
one.
you like a bunch of free coats and stuff too, or what?
Yeah, I used to get clothing, and then it was like it was good money for an hour shoot. So yeah,
Hell yeah. Stun on 'em,
yeah.
Elaine. Stun on
I
'em.
miss doing that. I miss doing it. Once in a while, I do photo shoots with people. They'll ask me, "Hey, can you come and?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I do some photos with people. So I still do that. Then I do comedy. but I'm 21
Yeah,
and over.
stand
It's
up.
not for virgin ears. If you're like, if you can't handle the naughtiness, then don't come to my show, and please don't bring your kids. No.
Yeah, no doubt. That's how I
Yeah.
always,
So
man. I always felt the same way
yeah.
about my music. It was just like I can't rock for the kids and the grandmas. Like some of
No,
the
no,
aunties
no.
might dig
Oh
it.
Jesus, the grandmas are the worst. Oh my God, I
Yeah.
did a show in New Mexico, and the grandmas were right in the front, so I was trying to keep it clean. The grandmas were like, "Oh, they said you were naughty," and then I looked down, and I was like, "Holy shit, grandma's talking to me." Hey, grandma, because I interact, and then
Yeah.
start telling me, she goes, "They said you were naughty. That's why we bought our seat right up front." And then I was like, oh my God. I go, so I could cut loose? And she's like, cut loose, baby. And I was like, okay. And I was like, oh my God, those grandmas were bad. And afterwards, they partied with it. It's like, oh my God. That happened to me like 3 times. So the grandmas are the worst, man. And then when they talk in Indian, that's even better because that's even naughtier, and people don't hear it if you don't understand.
Word. No doubt, girl.
Yeah,
No doubt.
yeah, but that's pretty much what I've been doing, and how I got into the cannabis stuff was I gave up my career for my mom, because my mom had cancer, and
Okay.
so she got to the point where she needed 24/7 care, so I just kind of quit everything, in the early 2000s. Time, and they gave her like 6 months to live, and she ended up living 5 years, and within the last, I'd say 2 years, it got to the point where, because she did chemo and radiation, and
Yeah.
she didn't want to eat, and I was like, Mom, you got to eat because you're losing too much weight. And if you don't put on
Yeah.
some weight, you can't have your chemo or radiation. We got to get you back up. And she's like, I don't want to eat. And then I look at her and go, Mom. And then she goes, well, you eat this shit, and it'll taste like metal to you too. And then I was like, it doesn't taste like metal, Mom. It's good. It's your favorite. And she kept saying that, and my Navajo sister was here with me, and she's like, you know what, girl, you need to get Mom high. And I was like, what? I go, Mom, don't do that. And she's like, I'm going to ask her. So she went in, she was sitting with my mom, and she came out, and she goes, Mom wants to smoke. And I was like, she doesn't smoke pot. I go, don't do that to my mom. You know, she's like, no, sister, it's going to help her. And I was like, really? And then I go, well, can I smoke with you guys? And she's like, yeah, come on. And so she rolled a joint, and then we just kind of passed it around. And like maybe an hour or so later, my mom was like, I'm hungry. And then I looked at her, I go, you're hungry? So I went in, I fixed her something to eat. And then it helped her stomach too, because she used to throw up, and we couldn't afford those pills. They don't tell you it's a $200 hit for a pill to help
Damn.
her ease the vomiting. And then my
Damn.
Navajo sister was like, just give that to her. She goes, I'm gonna go home and make her some brownies. The brownies are good. That'll help her. And I go, really? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, you're just getting my mom high, And she's like, no, this will help. And I was like, oh, okay. So she did. She started making my mom like brownies. She even made her a roast, and Mom was eating that. And then afterwards, she started putting on weight again because she lost like mega weight. And then she ended up, like I said, she ended up living for 5 years, and they gave her 6 months. But I swear to God that the pot it helped her. It
That's
truly
good.
did. Yeah, and then it even helped her see, because of her eyes, because she had cataracts and she had glaucoma. And then just before she died, she was like, I don't need my glasses no more. And then I looked at her and go, what do you mean? She goes, I don't need them. I can see. And then I looked at her and I was like, what do you mean you can see? And then my Navajo sister, she's like, no, this stuff really helps with glaucoma and cataracts. And I go, really? And I go, dang, I didn't know that, because I just knew it as something to get high in high school. And
No doubt.
just roll a
Same.
joint, smoke a bowl, get high, and but it really truly helped my mom. And then her oncologist, he ended up prescribing the pills for her. And when she started taking that, that's like when her eyes got better. And it's
Yeah.
it's like amazing how she ended up turning out. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that Marinol is a pretty heavy dose too, I hear. It's like super heavy
Yeah.
indica when you eat one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it helped her like ease her stomach, and then she was able to eat. Her eyes got better, and I used to use. I got my sister using the um, the salve, the CBD salve.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And she has rheumatoid arthritis, and I told her, I go, you should try this, because they say it's really good for it. And then she's like, I'm not gonna use that. It's not gonna do me any good. And so I just got her the small one, and I go, just try it. You don't need that much. And so
Yeah.
she tried it, and that little bottle lasted her a long time, but it helps. It helps her arthritis.
Yeah. That's how I would convince people too. I'd be like, man, I have this little sampler of this infused
Yeah,
coconut oil or whatever. And they'd be like, man, whatever. I'd be like, dude, just rub it on there. If it doesn't work, then
yeah,
fuck me. Who cares?
exactly.
John's full of shit. You know what I mean? And otherwise, if it helps, then it helps. And an hour later, they come back
Yeah,
like, hey, that shit helped. I'm like, for real? Let me know how long
yeah,
it lasts.
exactly.
I'm
Exactly. And
like,
then
cool.
some people are always saying, oh, that stuff doesn't work. And I go, yeah, you don't give it a chance to work. You just use it and say, oh, it's not working. I go, you need to use it, and then you'll see the difference.
Yeah.
And then now my sister, she uses it all the time.
Yeah, man.
And then
That's
I even bought her the pill form because she has glaucoma. So I was like, you should try these. And she goes, then I'll be all high at work. And I go, no, it's not like that. It's a different strain. It's not like the stuff we buy to get high. I go, this stuff will help you. It's medical. And then she was like, should I ask my doctor? And I go, well, go ahead if you don't want to try it. And then she asked the doctor, and he actually said, that'd be kind of good if you did try it.
yeah,
So
man.
she tried it, and her glaucoma isn't as bad as it was. And I
That's
keep
good.
telling her, just take it, just keep taking it. And then I
Yeah,
use
man.
it to sleep. I use my edibles or my CBD oil, and then because it helps me sleep. Because I'm stressed, I'm trying to get work, starving artist, can't handle the real world job.
I
Um,
can dig it, Elaine. Oh, I can dig it.
I
Righteously.
mean, going from the highest paid Native actress in the country, to being a secretary for Title VII program just doesn't cut it. It's like I made so much money in an hour doing my acting than I do at work.
Yeah, man.
It's
I
like
can dig it, girl.
it's hard. It's hard to adjust to that because I was like, it was really tough after my mom passed away, and then I tried to get back into the business, and it's hell, because it's just, and plus I'm a little chunky, but so I can't do period pieces because I'm too healthy. you got to look like you're starving to do, the period pieces. And I am, I don't look like I'm starving. I'm a chunky
Well,
butt.
I tell girls that too. I'm like, man, like BBWs are where it's at. You know what I mean? Like, don't
uh,
try.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So um, that's what it's tough. It's tough just trying to get back in there. And so I was like, well, shit, I'll just go back to work. So I went back to work for the school district, and thank God they took me back.
Done.
But yeah, that's what I do. So, but I love to take that because, it just helps me sleep. Otherwise, I'm up all night long. It's like I'll go to bed like at 5 o'clock and then get up at 7 and go to work. So it's like now I can take it and then I'll sleep until morning. And then my son I got him using it because he has PTSD, and he he has sleep deprivation, and then now one of his meds is causing seizures. So I told him, I go, just put a drop under your tongue in the morning, in the evening, and I go even in the afternoon if you want to, do it 3 times. Just help alleviate it. And he's been doing it, and he hasn't, gotten a seizure since I started him on it.
That's good. So that's a tincture.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
tincture dropper. That's dope, man.
yeah, yeah,
That's super dope.
yeah. Yep, yep. That works because that it was mine because I was using that because I didn't have any more edibles. So I was like, well, I'll just use this. So I stick it under my tongue and I just go to
Yeah.
bed. Yeah, yeah. But and then I use my CBD salve on my knees, because my knees are giving out on me. I gotta lose weight. If these could work to help us lose weight. No?
My suggestion, Elaine, is indica in the morning. I tell this to all the homies, boys and girls who are trying to lose weight. I tell them smoke a heavy indica in the morning and don't crash back out. I'm like you're gonna feel tired. You're gonna feel tired and you're gonna feel sleepy, but you gotta power through and do whatever your morning chores are and go about your day. And
Really?
on like after a week or two, it's like your body is gonna the metabolism is gonna switch to burn more calories, is because you're you're wanting to go to sleep, but you're staying awake and powering through it, and then your body shifts and adjusts to that. So your metabolism will burn more calories if you do that for like a week and keep that your routine. You know what I mean? So that it's man, I want to get this lady on the show. Her name is, I think, Rachel Knox. She's a doctor, and her TED Talks was about homeostasis and the endocannabinoid system. But it's
Uh-huh.
like
Uh-huh.
it's like a vitamin that's been missing from your system for like 100 years, and putting it back into your system makes your homeostasis function more properly. And that's like
Oh,
your
no
metabolism and
way.
everything will burn more calories. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
putting up with it for a couple of weeks is difficult sometimes because it's like waking up early to go hunting. When I was a kid, my
Yeah,
pop would try to wake me up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I'd be like, oh, I could never do it because I was tired. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it helps, man. You
yeah.
smoke a heavy indica in the morning, power through, don't crash back out. It'll help you lose some extra pounds.
No way. Okay. Okay, I'll try.
Are you guys there now, Mitchell? Is Lane? Can you hear us? She was just calling my phone. Okay, there she is, right there.
Hey,
Hey,
can you
girl.
hear me?
Yeah.
I know my phone does that. I'm sorry. It's an old phone. It's a Galaxy 3 Samsung T. So it's like old ass phone that drops calls. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's all good, girl. I think our video call dropped too somehow. Like I lost both of my buddies
Okay.
there for a second.
Uh-oh. Okay. Okay.
Don't trip. Maybe it was our bad. I'm
Oh,
not trying
okay.
to point fingers. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're all back
Uh,
on now?
yeah, we're all on now, right? Yeah, Will
Uh,
turned down his mic so he could claim his torch there. So
okay.
everything's okay, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was talking about the keto stuff because my doctor said that people are going to end up getting kidney failure with that because it makes them lose weight too quickly and it
Oh
affects
yeah,
their body. Yeah. And then he
yeah,
goes, you put this weight on in time. He goes, it takes time to take it off. And I was like, yeah, okay. Because I'm walking and I'm doing like a heart healthy workout. So I do my workout one day and I walk the next. And I'm actually
yep,
like, taking my CBD at night so I could sleep and I actually wake up in the morning instead of at noon, and
yeah,
so yeah, so I get up in the morning and I'll actually do my work or my workout, my walk or my workout, and then I go, come back home and get ready and go to work because my boss lets me. So
no
yeah,
doubt.
so that's how I like it. It's I'll just do it my way because I'm not watching my intake. He goes, don't, but I did cut back on sugar. I don't use like 6 tablespoons of sugar to go with my coffee. I
Yeah,
cut that. So I'm doing good.
y-
I'm taking it slowly. So, but I'm gonna
that,
try the indica.
yeah. Indica in the morning.
I'm gonna
Try
try
it
that.
out. Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's that like okay, so I got in trouble my senior year of college in '08. I got a felony possession of marijuana charge. I had to sit 30 days in jail after I graduated and be on probation and all that. That 2 years when I was on probation in Idaho, I couldn't smoke. Like felony probation was some
Oh,
different shit, and PO would show up whenever, piss test you whenever. And
yeah.
during that 2 years, I gained a lot of weight. Um,
Mhm.
like a lot. Like when I moved to Portland, I was probably like 240, 250. And people don't
Uh
believe
huh.
me, but I have pictures on my tribal ID and my driver's license when I moved to Oregon, and they're
Mhm.
like, "Dang, you really did lose weight." And I feel like the difference was that I had a job where I was standing up tagging fish for 4 or 5 hours, but also
Yeah.
that I was able to smoke weed in the morning before I went to work. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And smoke weed after work, and it just I feel like it boosted my metabolism, and maybe within like a year, maybe a year or two, I was probably down to like 205, and so
Oh, wow.
it felt like a healthy. And people would be like, "Man, you're losing weight." I'm like, "Man, I don't know." And then when I stepped on the scale, it was just like, "Holy shit, I did lose some weight."
Yeah,
So
yeah,
and it
yeah.
like when I was on probation and I couldn't smoke, I was just sitting at a desk watching videotape in the winter or sitting at a countertop at the gift shop selling cigs, drinking
Yeah.
energy, really not having much physical activity and not having any cannabinoids in my system. So
Uh
it
huh.
just all the chemicals just throw you off, man. Like, no matter what it is, it's
Yeah.
there to
Yeah.
disrupt your natural processes, and I feel like cannabis kind of helps make everything go back
Yeah.
to
And then
normal. All that shit.
cannabis is like it's 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 a natural, you know, like it's natural. And people are all like, "Well, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't." And I go, "It's legal in Washington. It's legal in Oregon." I go, "If it wasn't natural, why did they legalize it?"
Yeah,
You know. So I was like,
yeah, man.
I get tired of people telling me that. Like, "Well, you're just messing." I go, "Yeah, well, you're messing yourself up with your keto shit. So, don't tell me nothing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
keto
know,
and
'cause
pills
it's
ain't
like,
good for you, man.
yeah. So it's like, don't tell me, you know, 'cause it's helping. It's actually helping me, you know, and it helps my son. It's helping my sister. It helped my mom, you know, and then like when my aunt was alive, she used it for her rheumatoid arthritis, and she said she was able to move when there were days when she couldn't, you know, and when she used it, she she was happy because she was able to move. So, you know, you can't say that, you know, it's bad because, you know, people are actually, you know, using it and it's it's helping them, you know?
Yep,
Definitely.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
have any
Yeah.
products that you like edible products or tinctures that you consistently grab in Washington? There's any people that,
Oh,
like
I always
farms that
I
you like?
love my candies. I love my caramels. I love my
Yeah.
mints and my gummies. My
Heck
gummies, you
yeah.
know, 'cause they they fit in my bag with all my munchies and nobody says nothing, you know, 'cause
Yep.
I could have my candy and stuff and it goes through, you know,
Yep. Absolutely. No.
'cause they say, you know, you can't. But I was like, I need it. If I don't take it, I'm gonna be up all night, you know. So I just get those because it fits in with my other stuff, you know. And then I like
Definitely.
my oil, my CBD oil, and then I usually put that with my toiletries because I have like little dropper stuff for like my eyes and shit, you know, that help your wrinkles and shit. So I just put it with that, and
Nice.
it goes through, you know.
Yeah,
Yep.
super
And then
ninja,
Yeah.
people ask
Elaine,
me,
man.
they're like, you know, that's not legal here. And I go, well, it's legal in Washington, you know, and that's where I bought it, you know. So,
Yep.
and then they're like, but
Exactly.
it's not legal here. And I go, well, you're the only one that knows I have it, you know. So,
Right.
Yeah,
you know, so if I get busted, I know you told them, you know.
yeah. Worth
So,
your
but you know,
time,
I
you
just
know.
those are what I like, you know, the CBD oil and then my caramels, my gummies, and my mints. Those, and then my
Nice.
favorite smoke is Big Black. I love Big
Ooh.
Black. That's that purple shit that you just smell it and get high.
No doubt.
I got my niece hooked on it. She's like, Auntie, I'm coming. I was, okay, and she goes, let's go to your store. And then she goes, because nobody has that, but I can get it at that store. And I go, yeah, I go up there because nobody knows me, you know. But now when I walk in, they're like, oh, hello, Miss Miles, the usual. And I was like, oh, my God. Okay, yeah, just get me my usual, you know. It's pretty bad, you know, when they're starting to know you. But like when I go here where I live, and I'd see like a couple of my coworkers. I was like, dang, I didn't know she did this shit, you know. She doesn't look like she'd use it, you know, and I was like, I hope they don't tell. So I fessed up last year. I was like, you know, I was just wondering, you know, do we have to do a pee test when we do like cannabis stuff? And they're like, well, it's legal. And I was like, yeah. And then she goes, but you can't do it during work. She goes, you can do it on your own time, but it's like drinking. She goes, we don't allow it at work. And she goes, if it shows up in your P test, it shows up. And I was like, yes. No. Because I was
Yeah.
like, am I going to lose my job because I use this stuff, you know? But it wasn't, you know, because I had to do my P test, and I was like, oh man, I know I'm gonna get written up, but I didn't. I didn't get written up, you know,
That's
and
good.
then the big boss,
Nice.
you know, she just said, as long as you're not doing it here at work, and I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
can handle
That's
that,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But those are my
Last summer it got.
your
My
what?
bad. I was gonna tell a story real quick. Last summer it got slow for work on Lyft and Amazon, so Jason got me a job at T-Mobile. Shout out to Jason
Uh-huh.
Fix, man. That's the homie. Um,
Mm.
and I like they had a pre-screen drug test, and he told me, he's like, dude, you have your medical card, don't you? And I was like, yeah, I have my medical card. And he said, as long as you send them a copy of that, you can piss dirty for weed, as long as you don't piss dirty for anything else. And I was like, no
Yeah.
way. And it was like
Yeah.
I sent them a copy. I took a picture and emailed it, and then I went and took my piss test, and I'm sure it was dirty, wicked
Yeah.
dirty, off the charts, and they still hired me. It was a trip. Like that's never happened in my entire life, until 2018.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was impressed, cause I'm a good salesman. I'm competent at work. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
show up super
Yeah.
baked, but I want to make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jump,
I know that's how I
jumping on
am. I get
point.
my work done, and I do my job, so don't hate them because I do this.
Yeah, I'm being safe
Yeah.
at home. I'm chilling
Yeah,
at the crib.
exactly. Because I wanna live, I wanna live a while. So yeah,
Same, Elaine. Same. If you're gonna live to be a
yeah.
hundred,
I am. I
so.
am. I'm going to live to be 100 with a 60-year-old boyfriend. So I'll be a cougar when I'm old.
No doubt, no doubt. Man, goals, goals. I'm with
And
that
then I
shit,
told my
Elaine, for
son, I
real.
go, yeah, I told my son, I go, I'm gonna live to be 100, and I'm still gonna look good. And he's like, yeah, you will, Mom. And I go, yeah, I know, I'm gonna be one damn cute 100-year-old bitch.
Yeah, we'll be
And I go, and I'll
seeing the
be
new.
right too. And he just laughed at me, so I keep him laughing.
No doubt. Yeah,
Yeah,
humor is important. That's the best medicine, man.
yeah, it is. It is, 'cause laughter cures everything, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else do you guys want to know? Why don't you ask questions?
Yeah, Will, you got any more questions, Will? Can we ask
Not at the
can we
moment.
ask movie questions too
I'm
now?
gonna think.
Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
sure.
man, I'm sure Will has at least one or two written down.
Yeah.
He's all
Okay.
fanboyed out. He's all nervous and
Dig for
shit,
one.
man. It's cool, Will. It's cool, Will. It's all good. Look at him.
Yeah.
All right, Will. Let's shoot a question out, Will. We still got. He has to leave at quarter till to go pick someone up at the airport. So I want him to ask at least one question before he
Yeah,
goes.
'cause you've been kind of quiet, so let's hear you.
Yeah.
uh how many takes did it take to get some of your scenes done in smoke signals?
Um, the driving backwards, it took a while 'cause I had to go earlier than everybody else. I had like a 5 a.m. call because the stand-in was tall. He was 6 something, and he was too big to double for me, and he didn't fit my hat. So Sherman asked me. He goes, "Can you drive backwards?" And I was like, "Yeah, I could." And then he's like, "Can you come in early?" And then I was like, "Sure." And so we got there early, and Michelle St. John had to be with me. And he goes, "Well, I want you to drive backwards over that hill at full speed." And I just kind of looked at him, and I thought, "Oh, okay, I'll try." And he goes, "You can do it." And I go, "Yeah, okay." And then I was like, "These ditches are really deep." And then Michelle was like, "And there's no seatbelts on here. Are we insured for this?" And she goes, "Can I not ride with her until after she?" And then he's like, "No, because we've got to see what you look like." And so he actually just shot us like practice running. and I think he actually used one of our practice runs because I went full speed and
Tight.
I made dust. And I was all happy because I looked at Michelle and I go, "Hey, I'm making dust," and she's like, "Watch your road," I was like, "But I'm making dust," because I was going full speed backwards. So I had to literally do that. So it was fun, and we did it all morning. I guess like what was it? About 5, 6 hours I was driving backwards, coming over the hill, full speed. And a few times almost kind of went close to the ditch, but I didn't run off the road.
Way to go. She does her own
Yeah,
stunts. Gentlemen, she
yeah.
does her own stunts.
The what?
You do your own stunts, Elaine Miles.
Oh yes, in that I did. I actually did. So
That's sick.
yeah, yeah. So I can drive backwards, a stunt driver. But
Hell yeah, man.
everybody drives backwards on res at some point. You always
Yeah.
have to have that one person on the res that does it. Their car's broke down, they're cruising backwards, taking it to cousin's house to fix.
Yeah. That reminds me of that video too. It was Notorious B.I.G. featuring Puffy, that hypnotized video
Oh
that
yeah,
Biggie
yeah.
that you see, and it's like they're running from the cops or whatever, riding in reverse for like, dude, it's a cool chase scene, but it's
Yeah,
in reverse. I'm like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like smoke signals. That's tight.
Yeah,
Super sick, man.
yeah.
Super sick.
I know there was I met these, I forget their names. They play with the Minnesota Vikings, and I was stuck at Minneapolis airport because it was during the winter time, and the planes, were all stuck. So we had to stay at the airport, and these people kept like taking pictures of me, and then they take pictures of them, and then I was like, I wonder who they are. And back then I wasn't really into football because I was working up in Toronto doing that TV show up there, so I got into hockey. So I
Word.
wasn't really into the football down here, and then so I was waiting to come home, and they kept looking at me and go, "Can we get a picture with you?" I was like, "Sure," and they both stood up, and I was like, "Can you even see me?" So they picked me up, and then I'm laughing because they're holding me up, and then this guy, he looks at me and he goes, "Do you know who these guys are?" And I was like, "No, they're just two big black guys." And then they were like, "We play with the Minnesota Vikings," and I go, "Oh, that's cool. Is that basketball?" And they're like, "Football." And they go, "Oh, okay, well that's cool." I was like, "Oh my God!" But then I was like so crazy because I met this Samoan guy that worked there, and he had some guns, so we were smoking in the airport where they could smoke. So I
Tight.
was like, "Oh my God,"
Gangster. Gangster.
But they recognized me from smoke signals, and I was like,
Tight.
I cannot believe these black people watch smoke signals. It's like, and they go, "No, no, we have friends, so we watch smoke signals. Y'all are like us black people. We're ghetto too." And I was like, "Oh, okay," and they're like, "You always gotta have that one uncle that drives backwards, you always fixing cars." And I was like, "Yeah, that's how we are, on the res." And then he's like, "Yep."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just kind of laughed because they watch smoke signals, and that's like I met these Puerto Rican guys when I was in San Diego, and they watch Smoke Signals. That's one of their favorite movies. He actually had it on his phone, so he
Sick,
was
man.
watching. I sat behind him, and I was like, "Is that guy watching Smoke Signals?" And I thought, "Is he native?" I was trying to peek through and see. And then when he sat up, and he goes, "Hey, I just watched you," and I was like, "Yeah, I've seen that because I thought you're native. What are you?" And he goes, "I'm Puerto Rican." And I was like, "Why are you watching Smoke Signals?" He goes, "Man, that's a good movie." But
Yeah,
it's just funny, to see other people than natives watch it. It's I guess a big hit with just about anybody and everybody. And
yeah,
so,
yeah. Really,
and then
really
what
good-hearted
what
movie.
makes me
Yeah, the
yeah, what makes me happy is it was the first written, directed, produced native movie, and I was a part of it, so I made history with that movie.
Hell yeah,
nice.
Elaine
Yeah,
Miles.
the first time I watched Smoke Signals was, God, it was probably four, no, 5 or 6 years ago. I watched it. I majored in American Ethnic Studies at Willamette University in Salem, and one of the
Uh-huh.
classes I took was a Native American film class. So we watched it for
Uh-huh.
Right.
that, which was awesome. But yeah, and then I rewatched it again like a few years later. But yeah, cool.
Wow. I know my son's teacher in high school used to use, he still uses it. And it was funny because when my son's friends would come over and they'd look at me and then they'd talk in Mexican, then they'd look at me and then they asked Dusty, my son, and then he was like, yeah, that's my mom. And they go, well, how come you didn't tell us? And he goes, because I don't want everybody to be coming over here talking to my mom about the movie. And then I was like, Dusty. And he goes, yeah, Mom, we've been watching it. And he goes, now these guys recognize you. So, and then he came home the next day and he's like, they told the teacher. Now the teacher wants you to come visit. And I was like, oh my God, Dusty, you don't want me to do
Uh,
it? But he was like, I don't know, Mom. I just didn't want people to be like bugging you like that. And I was like, it's all right. It's all right. And then, like now, even that
totally.
teacher is still in high school, and he's always like emailing me. And he's like, Elaine, are you still in town here? I was like, yeah. And he's like, can you come up this week? And I was like, sure, okay. So, but they're cool because they show that in high schools. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, yeah. So, any other questions before you leave?
Yeah, let's shoot one more, Will. Shoot one more.
I think that's all I had off the top of my head. I might be able to think of one in a minute or two. But y'all put me
Okay.
on the
Well, at least
spot
we got
here.
to talk.
I'll try and think of one.
So what?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what
Uh,
kind of what are you working on right now, Elaine? Do you have something that you're working on recently that isn't coming out yet that you can talk about?
not really. I can't talk about it, but I'll just
But
say
you
I
have
did a
been working.
video, and yeah, I have been, but it's trying to sell, so I can't really say what it's about, but we did it, and we hope and pray that it gets bought. And that's one of the things I wish, like casinos would get involved, you know, all our native casinos so they could like back some of these things, some of these movies and these short films or music videos. It's like why can't they back it? We're all natives, let's work together. But we're
Yeah,
we're just hoping someone buys it and then you'll see my little
we're
chunky butt on screen again.
no doubt, no doubt. Looking
Yeah,
forward to it, man. Like that's
yeah,
I
yeah.
agree with what you're saying too, cause I'm trying to shoot a pilot in June at our casino, and
Oh,
I hope they at least give me permission. Cause there's a
yeah.
bar and there's a gift shop and there's an office setting that like I can shoot the whole pilot in, and it's just pretty character based, and I could capture everything there and still get shots of a place that can be a tourist attraction. So I'm
Mhm.
hoping they at least
Yeah.
give me permission. I'm pretty sure I have someone to fund it already, and I got a guy to shoot
Nice, nice.
this week.
I know 'cause you sent me some stuff that's kind of intense stuff you sent, but it's good.
Thanks, girl. I appreciate it. Shout out to Ryan Craig,
Yeah,
man. Like that, it's
yeah.
gonna be LA Skins Film Fest in November. It's gonna show sometime there. We're waiting for the date to see when it's gonna show, and we're all trying to show up down there and see what people think about it.
Nice, nice. Well, good luck with that. I always try and support all of the natives that are in the industry, whether they're on camera, off camera, behind the camera, or, the writers, I always try and support because that's a difference, because I worked up in Canada and the States, and in Canada, they're more diverse. They have their own TV channel, their native channel, or their Aboriginal channel, and they hire native writers on different shows. They have, natives on the news. They have them as reporters. And you don't really see that down here in the States. It's like we don't exist down here, and that's one of the complaints I have, and that's, I've said it out loud, in LA about how they treat the natives, it's like we don't exist, and we have all sorts of talent, we have native actors and actresses, we have stuntmen, stunt women, we have writers, we have directors, we have cameramen, we have, electricians, we have grips, set deck, makeup. My niece is a makeup. She works with makeup in LA. So,
Yeah.
like, and then my nephew used to do designer, so he was, worked with wardrobe on films and on videos, so it's like, you know, why can't we support us? It's like
Yeah.
Middle Eastern people have their own channel. Hispanics have their own channel. Asians have their own channel. And we're the ones with the goddamn casinos, and we don't have our own channel yet.
Well, dude, and the other thing too, like I appreciate you supporting us by coming on the show, but I think that on their research, because now they have spreadsheets, right, and all this data, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that their spreadsheets say that whatever weird, obscure native film, like whether it's based on a native Indian reservation or it's written by a native person or there's native actors in it, they see that it's charting a lot in all these rural areas as far as location. And they're like, what the fuck, man? Why are people watching the shit out of this? And it's like, because we are supporting us. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
if there's some,
Right.
if there's
Right.
something available that has us in it, we're gonna go and watch it. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna pay to see it even because I know
Yeah.
there's a skin in there,
Exactly.
and I gotta support mine no matter what.
Yes.
But
Yes.
Will said he has to peace out. Can you say goodbye to Will one time, Elaine Miles, before
Hey,
we tune
we'll
off the
see you.
call?
And
He's
it was,
gotta go
Thank you
pick
yeah,
so
someone
much,
up.
Elaine.
it was, yeah, it was nice talking with you, and thanks for being on here with me and dropping me your questions and stuff.
Of course, yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Okay, thank you, and you too, and whatever you're doing. So, good luck.
Thank you. Later.
All
And
right, Will.
drive safe at the airport, man. They're crazy over there. No.
Yeah, yeah, he's outie, man. Thanks for answering his questions too, Elaine. He was
Yeah,
super excited
yeah,
when we told him you were gonna be on the show. He was like, "No way!" From smoke signals. Oh,
yeah.
he was pretty excited.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Yeah, but that's cool. That's cool. And like I said, I'm happy to support. I've been on a few podcasts, and I didn't realize like y'all were like family, because my cousin was telling me, and I was like, dang, I didn't even know that. Like Jesse, because he inboxed me, and I was like, well, where are you from? And he told me, and then I was like, well, who do you belong to? Then he told me, and I was like, oh my God, she's my cousin. That's my nana. I was
Yeah.
like, then I called my cousin Doris, my sister Doris, and I go, hey, this guy called me, and she goes, yeah, that's her nephew, and I was like, oh my God, Because
Oh
I don't really
yes.
know everybody. Because a lot of them I haven't seen since they were little guys, and now everybody's old. And when I go home, I was like, they'll come up, hey, Auntie. And I was like, I don't even know who they belong to. Who is that? And then they're always telling me, you need to come home more often. I was like, yeah, I know. So, because I'm a Sweetwater girl. My grandpa lived in Sweetwater, so
No
yeah,
doubt. Mitch stays
yeah,
up there in cul-de-sac, man. So he's right up the
yeah,
road there.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. So yeah, but then I'm enrolled in Pendleton with my mom. So I'm
It's
a
all good.
Cayuse
We
girl.
still claim you,
I'm a
girl.
Cayuse.
We still claim you.
Yeah. Good, 'cause they don't. No. Yeah, just my family. My family supports me, but there's a lot of people at Pendleton that don't like me. But that's all right. I just smile and wave, kill them with kindness.
No doubt.
Yeah,
Only thing you can do.
yeah,
Only thing you can do.
yeah. Is there anything else you want to ask?
Shoot, man. I don't know. Like, is there any other stories that you want to share? Cannabis or acting related? I think we have about 8 more minutes left. If you can give us an 8 minute stand up routine or something, like
Hey.
whatever. If you just tell us. I'm sure you have all
Yeah,
kinds of stories, girl. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I like sitting here and listening to you talk. I just try to interject here and there to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like I really dig hearing your story. So
Yeah, but I'll tell you about what my agent told me when I was offered smoke signals. Because that was at the height of my career, and she was
yeah,
like, you really don't want to do this because, it's below what you are worth. And then I looked
yeah,
at her and I go, yeah, but it's written by a native guy. And then she looked at me and she goes, well, honey, it's not going to look good on your resume. And then I was like, well, you know what? I want to support my native people. I go, I don't want to be like everybody else in Hollywood and just forget about where I came from. I go, I was raised different. And then she was like, well, you did that when you got the award. You went to your American Indian Award instead of going to SAG. And I go, yeah, but everybody came to the awards after SAG. And I go, and I appreciated that because, Rob Morrow and the producers showed up at the American Indian Awards to support me because I got, an award for
yeah,
Best Supporting Actress on the television series. And she goes, well, I just really don't want you to do it. And then afterwards, she goes, I am glad you didn't listen to me, because it
word,
it was ended up being a bigger movie than what was anticipated. Because when we started it, it was a modified low budget, which was like way below what I was used to being paid. But
yeah,
I wanted to be a part of it because it was a first written, directed, produced Native movie.
no
And
doubt.
we were all the main characters are Native.
Yep.
And so I was really happy. And my mom, she kept telling me because she was alive, and she goes, you know what, you do what your heart says. She goes, if you want to do this, do it. She goes, if because you're used to being paid. And I go, well, I got that modeling gig, so that kicks in what I'm used to. So I go, doing this is going to be fun, because it's the first written, directed, produced, Mom. And she was like, well, do it, So I did it, and I'm glad I did it because it did, get all sorts of awards, and it went to
Hell yeah.
Europe, and it was seen all over in different countries, and it's still seen in different countries. And like I said, it's on still playing on Netflix and Hulu. So I was glad
Yep.
I actually did it. because it's you know, it put my name, up there with everybody else, because we took that chance, and I'm glad that Sherman did that. He took the chance to do it, and it worked. And that's what I always say. You just got to believe in our stuff because, like I said, we have a lot of talented Native people out there that can do the same thing. Because who
I
knows,
agree.
your stuff may be out, next year. You know,
Yeah, yeah. Like
yeah.
that's what like when you talk about because I'm not like getting paid to act or anything, but one of my music rap homies, Ryan Craig, he just hit me up last summer and was like, "Hey, I got a script that I wrote. You want to check it out?" And I was like, "Dude, this is tight." And he just asked me,
Mhm.
he's like, "Do you want to play Ray?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Well, like, how much do you want?" I was like, "I'll do it for free." And he's like, "Well, what the fuck?" I was
Yeah.
like, "Dude, I'll do it. It's a short film. Like, we could shoot this in a day." I was like, "I'm gonna come out there for a trip anyway. You just got to give me a date, and I'll work around it." Like, all right. And he was like, "Well, what about the girl?" And I was like, "I'll hit some girls up." And Kylie Fox, shout out to Kylie Fox if she's listening. She said
Mhm.
yes. And so the only thing he had to pay for from us, I think, was her plane ticket. And like my auntie had a Airbnb crib out there, so we just crashed at her house and shot the
Mhm.
movie in a day. But I was just happy because man, I've been trying to do acting stuff for a while. It's like I shoot videos and everything like that for music, and it just I wanted to do something, and he offered me the opportunity. It was like, nah, dude, I'll do it for free. I'm like, if you sell this and make
Mhm.
money off of it, then the next one, pay me some money. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do the first one
Or if he
free, man.
sells it, what he should have said is like if he sells it and gets money off of it, then pay you
Yeah,
whatever he can. Because if you're
yeah,
gonna make money off of what you did, boy, you better start asking for money. You
yeah.
know.
And I'm sure he'll look out. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ryan Craig, and he's
Yeah.
been a really
Yeah.
good dude. He's been a good dude to work with, just in music and with the movie stuff too. Like I I'm kind of
Yeah.
needy, I guess. I be
Yeah. That
bugging him
was pretty.
sometimes, like when did you, man? Is there a rough cut? Can I watch a rough cut? Like I bugged him all year, and it was last month I finally got to see a copy of. You know what I mean? And he's probably
I
like tired
know.
of me, like
That's
fuck, god damn it, Kane, leave me alone. Working on it.
yeah. Yeah, because that's one of the things my old agent used to tell me. She goes, when you do things, you do not ask them to see what you do. She goes, you have to wait to see what you do, and they'll show you. Don't bug them. And I was like, but I wanted to see it. Because
Yeah,
I was new at it. So I wanted to see what I was doing, and some people,
same.
they do. It's like in their contract to see what they do. And so I'm just one of those people. I'll wait. Like even this thing I just did, she sent me a video, and I was like, wow, it turned out pretty good for a 2-day shoot. And so I'm happy with it, and then I showed my son, and he goes, so is it out? And I go, no. And he goes, oh, that's just a rough cut? I go, yeah. And then he goes, well, it's pretty good, Mom. And I go, yeah, it is. And I go, but he goes, but you usually don't get those, Mom. And I go, I know, but she was nice and she sent it to me. So it was a little different because I didn't ask for it.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah,
felt good. It felt good to get that
yeah,
text message too with the link. I was
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
oh
Cause
my god, yes.
yeah, and then she was like, really happy that I agreed to do it, because I met her through a mutual friend who's from Omak, and now he lives down there in LA, and then he was like, "Hey, girl, you want to do this?" And I was like, "I'm well, I'll look at the script." And then I looked at it and I go, "Wow, that's intense." And I go, "Yeah, okay, I'll do it. What are they gonna pay me?" And it was a SEG, a little short film, and it's like really low budget, but it was worth it. I'll do anything to get my little brown face out there again.
No doubt,
I'm
girl. No doubt.
yeah,
Same, girl.
I'm at
Same.
that point. Yeah, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Like, I'm
Oh,
still here. I'm listening. Carry on. I'm digging what you're saying, Elaine. I'm digging what you're saying.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, it's it's crazy. It just this business is crazy. It's tough. You got to be tough to stick in it. Because you get put down, let down. And you think you could, get this part, but then it's not what they're looking for, so they hire someone else. But I'm always happy that it's another Native person that gets out there and does it. And
No doubt.
I just, I just hope that, who's ever out there listening, and if you're wanting to get into acting, or you got something written, or, you're a good camera person, or a good makeup artist like my niece, then, good luck to you, and I hope the best. And, I hope Hollywood recognizes, our talent. That's
Yeah.
all,
And
that's all I
yeah,
have.
I agree. I agree. Same. But even if Hollywood doesn't, we can put it out ourselves and support each other without
Right,
that. You
right.
know what I mean? Without
We
that
have our,
budget.
yeah, 'cause we have our own, um, awards, different awards going out, like the music awards, the film awards, so, you know, we got that to look forward to, because even that is more important to us. It was more important to me to be recognized by our Native people than it was for me to get the Screen Actor Guild Award. That's the way I felt, because I represented everyone, all Natives,
Yep.
in this business, so I was happier to receive it from the First Americans in the Arts, and then the American Indian um, Awards in San Francisco. So, it was an honor and privilege to be recognized.
No doubt. Yeah. We're proud of you, Elaine Miles. We're proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Seriously.
yeah. So are we almost done now, or are we still got to talk?
No, that's an hour right there. Like that's what we got you for is an hour. It's if you want to talk about anything else, cool. If not, then we can wrap it up and I can do my outro dance.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. I can't think of anything else to say. It's just like I said, good luck to everybody, that's out there, struggling artists. I'm there with you. We're trying our best to get our little brown faces out there, and like I say, I pimp myself out. Still haven't found an agent, and I know
No
what I'm
doubt.
doing though. I've been in the business long enough to know how to negotiate. So,
Yeah,
I'm doing
I'm
okay.
trying to have you be my agent, Elaine Miles. I'm trying to holler
Yeah.
at you.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I thought about doing, because there was a time where I didn't think I'd ever get movies again. And, 'cause I auditioned, didn't get parts. And then the movies that I have done since, I started coming back in 2008, um, is all people just wrote things and they had me in mind. So it's cool when people still remember you and they're like, we just want you to be in our movie. And
Yeah.
so I'm kind of honored that people still remember me. So, like I said, it's been 29 years since I've started, and so yeah.
Hell yeah, girl. Rock on, man. Like For real. Like it's been an honor to have you on the show. Um, hopefully we can have you
Thank you
back
for tuning
sometime,
in.
and
Oh
hopefully
heck
we can have you
yeah,
some back. You know,
yeah.
and
Maybe
and
next,
maybe yeah, maybe what you just worked on will get picked up, and you can start promoting
and
it.
then I
And
can talk about it. Yeah, 'cause it's gonna be a
yeah,
badass movie.
no doubt.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be my first like non-traditional. Well, it's a native role, but it's usually um they always want me to be like Marilyn, quiet and doesn't talk much, does facial
yeah.
expressions, uh, the typical native thing. And this
Stoic.
one I actually
Can you be
get to talk
stoic?
and
Be
stuff.
stoic.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm excited about because I'm gonna be, I play grandma, but still, yeah,
No
it's
doubt.
gonna be good.
That's cool.
So when it does,
Word.
I'll let you guys know. So I'll be back on.
No doubt. And then like if anything else pops up too, like drastically in your state or something like that you do previously done, like we'll try and hit you up. Like it's been really good talking to you and hearing your stories
Yeah.
about
Well, thank you
cannabis.
guys for having me on, and thank you everybody for tuning in. And don't be afraid to use CBD because it does
Yeah.
work. It doesn't high. It's a different strain. It's a medical strain, and it truly does help. And I hope people listen and they try it. Because it does work.
All right. No doubt. Yeah, good message, Elaine Miles.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So
And thank you, Katie, for having me on. Hey, and if you ever need someone for your videos, man, let me know. No.
no doubt. I'll hit you up, girl. I'm plotting to move back to the Northwest in the next few months,
Yeah,
so I definitely will be in your
yeah.
area. And I got your
Okay.
number. I will hit you up for sure.
Yeah, yes, yes, definitely. And thank you
And
guys again. Thank you guys
yeah,
again for letting me talk about it and talk a little bit about myself. So yeah.
yeah.
And
Thank
good
you,
luck to
Elaine
you
Miles.
guys for your
Thanks.
podcast. Yeah.
Word. All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do my outro dance, ladies and gentlemen. This was the 25th episode of Concerned Dabs podcast. I was your host, Katie M. Kane. With me was my co-host, Will Terps. He slipped out to the airport, and our guest was Elaine Miles.
Hey. Bye.
Yeah, yeah, all right, yeah. Tell them peace out. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really got to give a shout out to my guys in production, man, for doing such a good job every week, but also for booking Elaine Miles to come on the show, man. Like, I didn't have that kind of pull. I don't got that kind of juice. So I got to give a shout out to my guys in production, Mitchell Wilson and Jesse Curry. This has been a Main Node and Joseph Street Enterprise production.